I'm Derek Shore. Joining me today is voice actor, producer, musician. The list goes on and on. Vic Mignogna, welcome back
Oh
to
my goodness,
Houston Life.
it's so great to always see you.
I can't believe
I feel like I'm connected here, and I'm not, but because of Dominique, I feel like I know KPRC very well, and have come to really love and look forward to every chance to see you.
You're part of our extended family, and you're usually here in studio ahead of all these pop culture conventions that come to town.
Yes, and this weekend is no different.
No different. So Anime Matsuri kicks off today at the George R. Brown?
Well, actually it does, and in a special way, very special way. The convention organizers have been looking for a way to reduce costs for fans. This convention is very much about the fans, very much about the attendees. They all should be, but this one is in particular. So in the past months leading up to the show, they've been looking for ways to make it more affordable. One of the ways is they've been talking with the city about parking. Parking's always a problem.
Yeah.
Cost, you know how events, parking gets jacked up prices and stuff. So they've been working on that. They've been working with hotels on keeping the hotel prices down. And today, Thursday, as we speak, from 4 to 8, they're opening the vendors hall for free admission.
Oh, no way.
This just doesn't happen.
That's fantastic.
It doesn't happen. I've done 1,500, maybe 2,000 conventions in my life, and I don't think I've ever seen anything like this. The people that run this show are very committed to making it the best experience for the fans that they can.
And it's great because these days everything is so expensive. As you mentioned, parking, it all adds up. What I think is so fascinating about you, Vic, is a lot of people might not immediately recognize your name unless they're like a true super fan, but people certainly know your voice. You have so many credits to your list. It's staggering. I love this Star Trek sort of reboot.
Yes, my baby.
And everywhere you go, is there ever a time when you can fly under the radar? Like if you're wearing a baseball cap and you're out with Dominique and the dog, you're at the grocery store, do people ever like...
Well, you know, it's funny, they recognize her.
Really?
I see you're showing a little bit of B-roll here from our show.
Yeah.
So I decided to fulfill my childhood dream and create a web series.
I love this.
That picks up where the original series of Star Trek was canceled and finishes the 5-year mission. And as you can see, I'm playing my childhood hero, Captain Kirk. And I brought a bunch of friends in who are great actors, camera people, lighting people, makeup people. And we created 11 episodes that I'm very proud to tell you are approaching 22 million views.
Oh my gosh.
And all free to watch. I buried the lead, didn't I? Free to watch.
I like the sound of that.
So at StarTrekContinues.com, very proud of the work that we did. This was, again, a live action thing that I did, but for the past 25 years, I've been voice acting, done over 400 different animated series and video games. Dragon Ball, Fullmetal Alchemist, Digimon, Pokemon, Naruto, Bleach, One Piece, the list is long.
400?
And I'm old. If you live long enough...
Accomplished.
If you live long enough, you do a lot of work. But, and it's funny how you mentioned going under the radar, because when for many, many years, only occasionally, I might be at an airport and I'd stop to get a coffee.
Yeah.
And the kid behind the desk would be like making the coffee, and I'd say, "Hey, thanks, man, I appreciate it." He'd go, "Your voice sounds very
familiar." And what do you say? I mean, you can't.
Well,
we went to high school together.
I may say, it's your imagination, kid. No, what I'll normally say is, "Do you watch anime?" Oh yeah. As soon as he'll make the connection. Oh, you're so. Oh my gosh, can I get a picture? And it's always fun because, you know, as a voice actor, you don't get that kind of public recognition. But the moment that we did Star Trek Continues, I started having people stop me at airports. I went to see a Barry Manilow concert with a friend of mine in Salt Lake City, and we were leaving the concert venue, and we were standing out on the big steps in front of the venue, and a man and his family walked up to me and said, "Are you Captain Kirk?"
No way.
I mean, more people have recognized me from that web series than all the voice acting that I've ever done.
By the way, I bet my mom was at that Barry Manilow concert in Salt Lake City Was this a few years back? Was Dave Koz the opener?
I don't remember. All I know is that my good Star Trek friend Dave Arland, who's also a big Manilow fan, and I play the piano and write and produce. Yes,
a Manilow.
I produce professionally and sing and write, all because I fell in love with Barry Manilow's music when I was about 17, and I'd never met him. And so a friend of mine that was on my Star Trek series said, "Hey, I'm a Manilow fan too. You want to go meet him?" And I'm like, "Wait, how would we meet him?" And he has a special deal at the time where if you paid a little extra, you got this special package.
Like a meet and greet.
And you get to go backstage and spend 5 minutes speaking with him.
How cool.
So that was my opportunity to meet him, and it was great.
What was that like, meeting your childhood hero?
It was wonderful. And, you know, I told him, I said, you know, Mr. Manilow, he said, call me Barry. And I said, Barry, I know your story. And I want you to know that you inspired me to start playing the piano. And I said, I never took a lesson, but I can play anything I've ever heard. And I write and produce professionally. And I've even written jingles. I've written jingles for Houston TV commercials here in town, ad agencies.
Incredible.
That you would know. Academy of Sports and Outdoors, the right stuff, the right price.
You wrote that?
Yeah, and plenty others back in the day. But I told Barry, because one of the first things he did was write jingles for ad agencies. And so I was, you know, telling him that I have no formal training, but I just kind of have this God-given understanding of music.
And you can play by ear.
Yeah, and he's like, you got the music gift. You got the gift. You've got it. And we had a great exchange. He asked me to send him some of my music, which of course I didn't even consider that he would care.
I hope you included the Academy commercial.
No, no, I did not. But anyway,
missed opportunity.
So yeah, probably. So got the chance to, but again, got recognized from Star Trek on the steps in Salt Lake City.
You are really one of a kind, Vic, because I feel like when a performer lands that big role, and you've had hundreds of those big roles, I feel like a lot of people would say, okay, I've kind of made it. But creatively, you have so many different paths and so many different outlets. Where do you get that? Because you're always working on something. You have an upcoming film you're working on. You're constantly kind of creating.
Well, that's the word. I love all things creative. I have since I was a little boy. Whether it was sculpting something out of clay, or making a little Super 8 movie, or sewing my own costumes, or building models and trying to learn how to make explosions for film, or acting, or singing in church and then learning to play the piano and writing songs. I never, and I have to tell you this, Derek, this is the truth, and I want to say this with all my heart, and I almost want to, if you don't mind, I want to look right into the camera and say this. Everything that I've ever done has been out of love and passion for the craft. Anything I ever did, I never asked the question, well, how much am I going to get paid for this? Am I going to be famous? How much are you going to pay me? That never even entered my mind. Even when I started voice acting, I still was kind of surprised that I would get a check in the mail for any work because I just loved the craft.
And you got paid to do something you love.
Exactly, which is the highest blessing. And I give all the credit to God because I didn't plan it. A lot of people work very hard. You know, they make demos and they print headshots and they knock on doors and they send stuff out and they pound the pavement. And I didn't do any of that. I was living in Houston, right here in town. I was working on a video production and somebody encouraged me to go and audition for a tiny company that dubbed Japanese anime. And I just thought, all I thought was this would be fun, like to act with your voice. And I went and did it.
It's very difficult, by the way.
It is more difficult than people think, because especially with Japanese anime. Because with Japanese anime, the animation's already done. So you can't perform the line however you want. You have to perform the line in a way that matches the finished animated mouth movements, but also sounds natural.
And the body language of that animated character.
Exactly. And so I just stepped through that door, never knowing what was on the other side of it. And 25 years later, I was blessed to have recorded a lot of great, really fun characters and some great shows, be a part of some amazing series, and I consider myself most blessed. Most blessed.
And with millions of fans around the world, we should add. I have so many questions for you. Do you have a minute to take a break and stick around?
You would like, my friend.
Okay, because I got to ask you about our dear friend Dominique Sachse.
Oh, yes.
We like to call her D.
Yes.
So still ahead on Houston Life, we're going to chat a little bit about what life is like with Dominique Sachse. More with voice actor, producer, musician Vic Mignogna when Houston Life returns. Don't go away. Welcome back to Houston Life. Whether you know him as the voice behind some of anime's most beloved characters or from his work in the world of science fiction, you know him, you love him. Voice actor, producer, director, and musician Vic Mignogna is back with us.
Well, you know him, you may not love him, but...
Listen, if everyone loves you, I guess you got to have a few haters out there.
Oh, yeah. In fact, you know what I've learned? It's almost an equation. If 100 people love you, there are probably 1 or 2 that don't. And if there are 1,000 people that love you, there are probably 10 or 12 that don't. And the better you do in any career,
the more haters,
the more
have.
people are going to want to pull you down. It's almost a mathematical equation.
I worked in TV for many decades, and it is really interesting. We do get hate mail here and there and voicemail, and I know it's even just people in the comments. You've all seen it out there, and you're right. It comes along with any public job. Speaking of public jobs, the Queen, Dominique Sachse.
Yes.
I remember when I started here 10 years ago, and I ran into Dominique. It was like seeing someone, I don't know, float through the air, walk on water.
Is she the most beautiful woman you've ever seen?
She's so beautiful.
And she gets more beautiful every day. I've seen pictures of her even back when I knew her 35 years ago, and I thought she was adorable. I'm like, oh my gosh, how do you get more beautiful every day, sweetheart?
You know,
oh, and there's our sweet puppy, Oscar.
I mean, I was looking through both of your Instagram accounts earlier today. It looks like you two have so many adventures together. And you know, Vic, when you and I first met, I've known Dee for 10 years, right? And you and I have known each other for a couple years now.
That's Paris.
The moment that's cool. That's when her hair was long. I got it. I understand why you two click, because she's a big deal. You're a big deal. You have both lived really big lives. I mean, you know so many people, you've done so many things, and I feel like you understand each other in a way that a lot of couples might not, because you can go toe to toe, right? Is that a fair assessment?
You are so right, it's not even funny. We've talked about this very thing. I have gone through things that the average person would never understand. And she has gone through things that the average person would never understand. And yet we get each other, and we can talk the same language, and there's an understanding there. There's a connection, and that's just part of it. I mean, there are so many connections. We love so many of the same things. We gravitate toward. She is a super creative. She's constantly creating content, coming up with ideas, and I'm going to tattletale on her a little bit here. Anytime I'll come up with something, like I'll write a song, and I'll play it for her, or I'll do a little video, and I'll say, "What do you think of this?" And she'll be like, "I think you should cut that shot, and I think you should make that shot." And I'm like, why did I even ask her?
I mean, did you ask because you really wanted to know?
Of course, because she knows what she's doing.
There you go.
Exactly, but we get each other. And she'll do the same thing. She'll create something and she'll say, watch this and tell me what you think of it. Or where would you shoot this? Or how would you like this? We talk the same language, even in production. And it's an incredible, one of many gifts that God has given us in this relationship.
Even when she was full-time here at KPRC too, it's sort of like she had all of these full-time other things going on. Mm-hmm. I never knew how she had more than 24 hours in a day, or how she used those hours so wisely, because she was on the YouTube trend early on. She has a ton of fans. I remember her telling me anywhere she goes in the world, people know her from YouTube.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of pressure. First of all, it's also a ton of work. Watching you both on social, it is fun watching you collaborate. I do love watching that.
She'll draw me in to do this. You know, she's like, "Come do this video with me, where you help me pick out what clothes I should get rid of."
Trying on clothing in her closet.
Yeah.
Even like a couple
and help
of
me, help me. I'm gonna make this project for my mother and help,
store?
and and buy and taking the doggy for walks in Lowe's and picking out, for projects and woodworking things for my mom and. And she always, she's got her assistant, Courtney, and Courtney has kind of her hand on the pulse of social media. And Courtney will message Dominique and say, you should do, this thing is trending, you should do this thing. And so she'll come to me and say, hey, do this thing with me. I'm like, okay, well, just tell me what to do and where to be.
Well, she's incredible. We were messaging earlier today. She is actually on her way to Houston. We're going to try to track her down at some point. I told her she is always welcome to come visit the show, whether she's with you or whether she's solo, because she's always doing something. I know she has a brand new brand. Vic, our time is short, but talk to us a little bit about the big convention, Anime Matsuri, 20th anniversary this weekend at the GRB. It runs through Sunday, but you mentioned earlier, in case our viewers are just joining us, today is a day between 4 and 8 p.m. People can go for free.
Free admission to the vendors hall, which is a huge two football field size of vendors with all kinds of awesome swag and merchandise that people love to look at and get for themselves that represent different passions and fandoms. But then the rest of the weekend, lots of amazing guests, I think 20 or 30 celebrity guests from anime and video games. And I would be remiss not to say that this weekend there's a show that's on Netflix right now called Vampire Night. And Vampire Night is, we are having a cast reunion for Vampire Night. There will be 4 of us actors that were the lead characters in that show. The rest are coming in from LA. I came down from Dallas, and we're having a Vampire Night reunion this weekend. Of all of these 4 actors. We've got exclusive prints, just custom-made exclusive for Anime Matsuri this weekend. Panels, all kinds of interaction, lots of fun things to see and do. And excited to see as many people there as possible.
And those people, many of them, will be meeting their childhood heroes like Vic Mignogna. Just same way you met Barry Manilow, Vic.
Yes, or Bill Shatner.
I mean, it truly is incredible. Vic Mignogna, thanks so much for stopping by Houston Life. You are always welcome here. Say hi to your beautiful wife, Dee, for us.
She says hi to you. She loves you guys, and I told her I was going to be doing this, and she said, oh, I'm going to be driving, because she would have loved to have joined me. So maybe next time.
Next time. We would love that, Vic.
Cool spotlight.
Okay, if you are just joining us, we've been hanging out with Vic Mignogna, voice actor. And earlier, as the segment was ending, we were talking about wishing your wife, Dominique Sachse, to join us today. But she couldn't because...
she's driving. She's on her way to Houston, so...
But lucky for us, Dominique pulled off the exit. I think she saw a Buc-ee's.
She's a true professional.
In the parking lot. Dominique, is it true you're joining us by phone? Can you hear us?
I sure can. I'm in New Waverly.
New Waverly. It is beautiful this time of year. That drive between Dallas and Houston, a lot of people make it. Dee, we miss you, but clearly you don't miss us because you were so busy.
Well, I always miss you guys. You know my heart is with the peeps at Channel 2. And hi, baby, you're wearing your
Hello, sweetheart. I hope it's not too shiny.
Is there such a thing? I don't know.
No, I don't think so on television. And I think he agrees with me. Is this shirt, do you approve of the shirt?
It's perfect. And Barry Manilow would love it. The Manilows would love it. Hey, Dominique, so I know you've been driving on your way to Houston, but earlier Vic and I were chatting, and I was telling him what I've told you before, that when you two met, you fell in love, you got married, and then I met Vic. I was like, who is this guy? But then I met him, and it all kind of clicked. It seems like the two of you, and we're seeing beautiful photos of the two of you on screen, you are such busy overachievers, I guess, for lack of a better word. You two can really go toe-to-toe together, and Vic agreed that's kind of a fair assessment. What do you have to say?
I would agree. I think we're in similar but different lanes. But what we share is a passion for what we do, and it doesn't feel like work, and it's fun and play. And as long as everything feels like fun and play, then we'll keep doing what we do. And we feel blessed. God has blessed us with opportunities and new roads to travel and to do it together. Honestly, I couldn't think of anything better. So I'm super excited. But it doesn't mean that this pace last forever. It's, Derek, everything is a season. So it's just a busy season right now, but I'm sure we're going to have some slower ones too.
Well, busy season at the hardware store with Oscar picking out stains for the floor. By the way, is Oscar the pup, is he in the car with you right now?
Yeah, he's right behind me.
Sweet baby
Oscar, hey puppy.
Oscar.
So sweet.
He's looking around, baby.
Can we talk a little bit about your creative collaborations? Because we obviously, Dominique, we know and love you and miss you here in Houston, and we're always rooting for you. Vic, you're one of the busiest people I know with so many projects, 400 projects and counting to date. Can we talk about the movie? Can we talk about what else the two of you might be cooking up?
Well, go ahead, baby. You're ladies first, and you're the one who so kindly called in, so.
Oh, well, I mean, Derek, it's neat because he's met some really cool people in our area and through church. And I don't know how much Vic has shared, but he's been a part of a faith-based film that's been shot up in our area. And he got cast as the dad of a troubled teen. And he was also kind of lending his expertise to the director and the actors and all the things. So it's been really exciting for him to be a part of that. And I love seeing him do that because, like you say, Derek, he's kind of a jack of all trades. And even though he's done a lot of anime and that's been a bulk of his work, I mean, personally, to me, I think he shines in his Star Trek Continues web series. I think it is the most phenomenal production, acting, collaboration, fan film. There it is. You guys just popped up his image. Mm-hmm. He is the best Captain Kirk following Captain Kirk. It's mind blowing, and I'm so proud of his work on that series. So
I love you, sweetheart.
It's neat.
Thank you.
It's true, baby. I mean, it's so cool seeing all the different ways that God is getting you to express your gifts, and who knows where he's going to lead.
Well, you are the perfect Captain Kirk, Vic. This really is incredible. I know Captain Kirk is proud.
A lifetime in the making, I promise you.
You do it well. It was meant to be. Hey, I have an extremely important question for you,
What?
Dominique. Did Vic give you the artwork that the weather department here at KPRC was holding on to for years? We have video of the moment. This was a few months ago, when Caroline Brown surprised us during commercial break, and Vic was in studio for Pop Culture Con with several of his cohorts from Alien, and this moment I will never forget.
Me either. And I feel so sorry for Caroline having to hold on to that thing for how many years?
Since 2021, I think.
Yeah, 21. That's when I retired. Oh,
Okay, so where's the artwork now?
Derek.
Wait, say it again.
I said one of my many hairdos.
One of your many hairdos. Well, and also the two of you, I know that this is not the only likeness you've received from fans over the years. You have received many pieces of art where fans have painted, drawn, molded, etc. Have you had anyone ever knit a likeness?
I'm doing that right now, actually.
Vic is working on crochet at the moment.
Oh my goodness.
You're so talented.
so-
No, but I've had someone do a rock. Someone painted a rock.
That is very, very thoughtful. Dominique Sachse, we're tight on time. We're going to let you get back on the road. Safe travels here to Houston. Please come visit us in Studio B anytime. We miss you here.
I love you, sweetheart. Be safe.
I love you. And Derek, I will take you up on it, I promise.
Okay, sounds good. And give Oscar some belly scratches for me as well. Dominique Sachse,
Done.
thank you for calling in. It's always great to hear your voice, the voice we all know and love, so familiar. Vic Mignogna, it's so nice to see you.
Always a pleasure, Derek.
This
Always
was really
a
fun.
pleasure.
Thanks for sticking around for the whole show, and thanks for getting your wife to call
Absolutely.
in.
What a joy.
Okay,
What a joy.
well, have fun this week at the convention.
Anime Matsuri, downtown George R. Brown.
Happening through
Join us.
Sunday. Free hours today, 4 through 8, to connect with Vic, Dominique, and to learn more about Anime Matsuri. We have shared a link on our website, HoustonLife.tv. Look for that scene on Houston Life section.